Ruiz Jr. versus Joshua 2. Brought to you by Beats by Dr. Dre.
Hello, welcome to Saudi Arabia and the Royal Queue, which is part of the Diriyah season, where in just 3 days' time, the most almightiest of rematches will take place as Andy Ruiz Jr. takes on Anthony Joshua one more time. This time, though, it is different territory for Anthony Joshua. He is no longer the heavyweight champion of the world. He is the challenger, which, Johnny, is very much not the usual that he's expecting.
You know what, we're in this building here. It was built like 50 days ago. They've just built this out of nothing for such, yeah, you're right, an almighty clash. In the UK, we're all hoping AJ pulls it off, and as the days drawing closer, you look at Andy Ruiz and you're thinking, wow, this task was it a shock? You know, was Andy Ruiz meant to win? Was it just pure luck? Was it a shot from the gods? For Anthony Joshua, he's come in and he's asking people one or two questions and say, what do you think? That to me worries me. I'm thinking, why are you bothered about what people like me think or Coogan thinks or anything like that? You know, it just surprises me. I don't know if that's to build himself up to say, right, these people doubt me now, I'm going to go in there and give it my all. But I'm quite sure, looking at him physically, he looks in brilliant condition. He looks like he's sleeker, looks like he's working for speed, looks like he's working for movement, hand-foot-eye coordination. I like that. That's the kind of way I'd want to win. I know Dillian Whyte saying he needs to jump on him straight away. The mistake was he didn't block himself coming out. But you've got to look at Ruiz. Ruiz has got really long arms. So when you dip down and getting close to him, as you're pulling out and you think you're out of range, he's going to clip you. So AJ's got to be smart, use what he's got, use his height, use his reach, use his movement. He can do it, and he's got to look that he beat Parker on points, Parker beat Ruiz on points. So therefore, he's got to get that in his head. The problem is, can he keep it up for 12 rounds? I believe he can. I believe he's now immersed himself in the game where some fighters disappear and then turn up three months before a fight to lose weight instead of making it a lifestyle. I think he's lived in the gym since this fight, and coming through this successfully, I think it's a lesson learned where I think, right, I'm going to make boxing my life.
You and I just landed in the early hours of this morning, so we haven't been here that long. The open workouts, the public workouts took part yesterday. You just said that Anthony Joshua, he does look a lot leaner. Yeah. Massive difference to how we saw him in June. There are some people saying that he looks a bit tired in his face. What do you think to that?
Well, you know, we can try and read as much as possible into body language. We do know physically he looks very different than what he did. So that tells you how he intends on fighting this game. He says it's not going to go the distance. Maybe Ruiz will rush him. They've got to get this. I think it's going to be a fight down to the wire, and he's prepared for that. He's not prepared to just go in there and try and knock him out. He's prepared for all scenarios. So yeah, he's tired because he's worked hard. Apparently he had a full training session last night as well.
Is that unusual?
Fight week, yes. Fight week, I must admit, yes. But, you know, he'll do what works for him.
Yeah, I mean, we know about the changes in his camp. I spoke to him back in June when I did the long interview with him, and because a lot of questions were raised, weren't they, after his defeat on should he make changes to his big team? What should he change? Should Rob McCracken, should he go? And we were all waiting to see what he did. He stuck with Rob, but he's brought in Angel Fernandez. How do you think that dynamic?
I totally get that. He trusts Rob, but he's bringing more wisdom into the camp. I totally get that. He's now surrounding himself with boxing people. Spencer Oliver's here. He knows AJ personally. He knows the differences he's employed within his camp, which are, to me, most important.
How does it work with Angle and Rob? Because I mean, that's the question. Because AJ's been with Rob for so long. Yeah. Bringing someone new in, it does sometimes change things, the dynamic, and affect the training.
Yeah, I think that what Angel's been brought in for is he's been brought in to add something else, not to change it. He didn't want to change it up, he just wants to add a little bit more technical stuff. I've heard they've been working a lot more defensively, moving the head a lot more, and a lot more different drills as well. So I think he's been brought in not to confuse AJ and not try and change things. So we haven't got enough time from June till now. Can Angel implement those things that need changing? So they can't have drastic changes, and if they try that, it's not going to be very good for AJ. So I think that all he's tried to do is add certain little things. He said they were struggling with it at first, but in the last couple of weeks, AJ's really sort of been getting to grips with it, and I think it was more on the defensive side of things they've been working on.
And we are hearing as well that he's pretty much focusing just on the boxing, the sort of strength and conditioning side as lesson for him.
Which is something you've got to do. Everything else.
Is that a good thing, do you think?
Everything comes off boxing. Your knockouts come off boxing. Your shots come off boxing. Everything you do comes off boxing. That's got to be your main focus, not being in the gym doing weights and adding a bit of boxing to it. Now he understands that. And so to me, he's learning harsh lessons in our sport. Remember, I still say, for what he's achieved in boxing under just 11 years, he's still a novice. That's amateur professional for what he's achieved.
Which I think a lot of people forget, don't they?
And so he's achieved outstanding things. And so again, he's always learning. Unfortunately, he's always going to be judged by what he does, the wrongs and rights he does. That's what our game is. You've got a million bosses telling you how good you are and how bad you are. Now he's seen the dark side of our sport where people are now criticising him. And so he's saying one or two things out of character when it comes to a press conference. But he's just thinking, right, if the other guys can get away with it, I'm just saying what I want to say. And so it's good. And again, Dillian Whyte said that he should jump on him. You know, and I get Dillian Whyte's attitude, but he's got to look at what works for him. Dillian Whyte's brother here, the hero, the hero, Dean Whyte's here as well.
He's always everywhere.
He's a hero as. Get in here, son. Get over this side here. This guy here, he saved 1,000 people on a plane.
I don't know. I was just doing what anyone would do, man.
I'm just saying the insight that with Dillian on Anthony when he said Anthony should jump on him straight away. That would probably work for Dillian. Would it work for AJ?
I'm not sure that's for me. I'd probably keep it long for a bit. They're different style of fighters. So obviously Dillian's style is to press. He can go to the body and go, and it's similar to Andy for me. How he goes to the body and goes head. That's not AJ's style. I think for him, keep the distance. Andy had a great game plan last time they fought where he was going to the body a lot. So if he's not in range, he won't be able to do that and take the wind out of him.
See, I mean, I disagree with that. I think that what AJ needs to do is he needs to go and stamp that authority, and he needs to jump on him quick. But what he needs to do is think about what he's doing after he's done his work, which he didn't do. He was thinking about applying offense all the time, but he has to implement defense with that as well.
I've got one mic. You have to wait.
So what he's got to do is got to bully him. He's got to get in there and bully him and get command respect.
And really bad, you know. I'm very sorry.
He's got to bully him.
That's what I
No, but let me just say on the boxing side of things, sorry about that, and I know you're juggling about, but yeah, but on the boxing side of things, if he goes out there and he starts boxing and lets Ruiz get into a rhythm, Anthony Joshua, you got to remember this, right? The 11 years that you've been talking about, he's been boxing. He's never boxed. That's not his style of boxing. You've either got an aggressive fight. So yes, all he's got to do is use educated pressure. But what he tried to do in his last couple of fights, really since the Klitschko one, he tried to box more cutely, and that's not been doing him any favours. Povetkin the first 3 rounds, he didn't look great doing that. You know, I think that the boxing side of things is not his thing. He needs to get back to what he knows best.
What I look at is the caliber of opponents we're talking about, what that worked for. You know, some of the guys he fought, what it worked for. Now you've come to an elite level. We're talking about now Andy Ruiz, the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. He had over 105 amateur fights, only losing 5. So he's someone with a big pedigree of boxing since he was 6. So when you're talking about that, you can't compare the styles and what he did and what. When you're close, Andy Ruiz is
the
very
thing is,
dangerous.
why would you give a man a chance that shouldn't have one? It's like me boxing you. It's like me boxing you. What if I came down to there to fight you and to getting close to you? That's stupid. I've got to stand tall.
So
reach.
my point is, so listen, Andy Ruiz Jr. had first 19 pro fights, yeah? He had him 4, 6, 8 rounders. He learned his trade. He had a massive amateur pedigree as well. What I'm saying is he knows how to fight on the inside. He knows how to fight when a fight is coming at him on the attack. Joshua on the back foot is not effective. What he needs to do is hold the centre of the ring, work off that jab, and pop things through.
What I'm going to look at is this. Joshua, if you're looking at the mold, a similar mold to Vladimir Klitschko, obviously a little bit more athletic, I feel, but I feel for some styles, you've got to adapt. It's called, obviously, boxing. You know, sometimes you can bulldoze people as he's been doing, and it's worked. For this particular fight, I think, like you say, it needs to be educated. There's going to be times where he's got to work, but I think if he's in close, he just needs to wrap up and hold. He didn't understand that in the first time, and he brought in coaches, and I saw some things in Loughborough where they seem to be working on little holding and stuff. It's very important. It's just as important as anything else. And he didn't understand that kind of. It looks like he's done something.
Right, so they're the changes that we think Anthony Joshua will be making, and the people that he's brought into his camp. By all accounts, Andrew Ruiz Jr. he's kept pretty much the same. He's not made any changes.
Can I give you on this one, Andy Ruiz Jr. this week since we've been here? So we've been here since Sunday, yeah. He's loving life.
I can see by your tan.
Yeah, absolutely. He's loving life though. What I'm saying is, I spoke to him in person. He said, "Well, I don't want to change something that's not broken." He said that on Sunday I think he had 3 pizzas. He had 3 curries.
Are you actually believing that though, Spencer?
Yeah,
I was in the Chinese with him. I had the same. Can't you, look, I had the same, but I was in the Chinese with him. What I'm saying is, yes, Andy Ruiz Jr. does play the mind games, and he's been playing that again with, what else have I got to achieve? Listen, he's on it. Did you see him on the pads last night? Open workout.
He looks very racing, very quick.
Why would Andy Ruiz change anything? I totally agree on that. Because everything worked. He won, and it worked for him. And so he's going to come in and expect to do
That was a
something.
big thing going to this, wasn't it?
Weigh-in's Friday.
Yeah,
You checked his weight?
No, I'm looking at him.
Okay.
Come on, you must.
But there has been a lot of questions, isn't there? Social media, there's been pictures cropping up, and people have been.
They said he had dropped a lot of weight. He hasn't dropped a lot of weight. He said himself, he said, no, I'm about the same. I'm going by what he's saying, and I'm looking at his physical appearance. He's not lost any weight. He's not done anything differently because he doesn't need to. Joshua's the one that has to do the drastic changes. I think we can see that in his frame as well, Joshua.
I think he's done the right thing because he was fighting Miller before, 315 pounds. He needed to put on a bit more extra weight to be able to try and maneuver with him and wrestle with him when he needed to. So he needed to be a little bit more, obviously, bulkier. So I get that. And then they picked, it's history books is a history book, but in my eyes, they picked the wrong guy in terms of the time span to change it so drastically for the styles.
Do you think as well? So before the fight in New York, the talk in the fight week obviously was Anthony Joshua let Ruiz hold his belts. He was very relaxed, wasn't he? He was sort of loving life. Do you think in terms of Ruiz, the win will have changed him? Will we see a different Ruiz today, or is he just going to be the same?
The things that happened before a fight make no difference to what happened when the bell goes.
But we all analyse them.
But we all analyse, think, we shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have that. The best man won on the night. Yeah. Now you've got to look at Ruiz's lifestyle between then and now. The lifestyle has changed for him, his family, his popularity, and that's a lot to carry on your shoulders. Because all of a sudden, when your drive is no longer making sure you don't have to worry about buying your mum's house or making worry about buying bills, you're set for life. I could give anybody 50 million quid, and it's going to change their attitude, and it'll change their hunger. So Andy Ruiz, this is going to be telling. Is it about drive? Is it about ambition? What if the fight gets hard for him? I'm not saying he'll quit. I'm just saying it's going to change your mentality. It's going to change your want and desire.
Do you know what? We'll talk about this much more before the main event press conference. The one that's going to go on behind us in just a few minutes is the undercard press conference, which of course Dillian is fighting on. How's he doing?
He's good, man. He's over there. As you can see, he looks strong. He is strong, and he's in a good place. You know what I mean? He's been in the gym. He took a little bit of time out. He was under a little bit of pressure. Took a little bit of time out, and then he got back in. And his moves changed. You know what I mean? But he's sharpened up. He's added another coach, so the dimensions have changed a little bit more, just to tighten up things. I think it seems everyone's bloody adding people, but I mean, he's in a good place. He's got someone in who's durable in whack. Obviously, he's on the tail end of his career now, but it'd be good. Dill should get a couple of rounds out of him. Hopefully, if he can.
Is he angry?
He's always angry. Well, he's always angry. Why are you not angry? That's him. He's B.A. Brackers. Oh, today he's got the bald head anyway, but he's still B.A.
How does he feel about being on the undercard? Because he's so used to now headlining, isn't he, these pay-per-views?
Of course. I think it is something different from normally being the head honcho and being in charge. But listen, this is a mega card, a card that's going to go down in history. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of one of the biggest things in history? You had, Fuller and Manila and the other stuff that have gone on like this, and now we've got the Clash of the Dunes. So being on this card, you say, well, I was there, I participated, I was part of that event. You know what I mean? So I'm sure it's good for us.
And that is the thing, isn't it? It is a real opportunity for all the fighters on the undercard to grab some of the limelight. Yeah.
I mean, we spoke to even like young Hopey Price. Yeah, we spoke to him, and he's having his second pro fight, and he said this is a dream come true for them. These guys.
It's a swing fight. Hopefully, we'll get on.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is just a box on the bill, whether he gets on or he doesn't get on, to be a part of the event and say that you took part in that, because I think it will go down in history. This event, win, lose or draw with Joshua. This event will go down in history.
And it's the beginning of sport being brought to Saudi Arabia, boxing being brought to Saudi Arabia. They've got a lot of fighters. There's a young lad on the bill. I struggle to pronounce his name, so forgive me. 7-0. He's based in London, but he's got massive fan base here in Saudi Arabia. So this is the beginning of something that can be very special in regards to shows here.
Absolutely. Who are you looking forward to see on the undercard?
On the undercard, of course, it's Dillian Whyte.
Pick your heavyweight.
I'm going heavyweight. I'm going Dillian Whyte because I love the story. I love he's a people's fighter, and of course he's just got that chip on his shoulder, which I actually like.
What about you, Spencer?
Yeah, do you know one that I'm really looking forward to as well, and it's a fringe contender, is Michael Hunter versus Alexander Povetkin. You've got the old...
It's kind of the youth versus experience, isn't it?
Youth versus
Yeah.
experience, but Povetkin's by no means finished, and he's proved that last time out against Fury, proved it even with Joshua, and I think that we're going to find out more about Michael Hunter. Is he really a cruiserweight, or can he compete at heavyweight? We'll find out that.
Well, do you know what? We'll wrap things up now because we'll hand you over to the press conference. I think David Diamante is going to do the introductions in just a sec.
خلاص اسمه دبير ايش رايك؟ لا غير عفتي
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Salam alaikum. Welcome to the final undercard press conference for the Clash on the Dunes Ruiz Joshua 2, the heavyweight championship of the world. It's an historic night of boxing, and it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing in association with Skills Challenge Entertainment. The title sponsor is Public Investment Fund with help from JD Sports. Now, all the action will go live around the world on DAZN and Sky Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, the most coveted prize in all of professional sports, the heavyweight championship of the world. And when the big boys let their hands go, the world stops to watch. And make no mistake about it, the Clash on the Dunes is the biggest, most anticipated fight on the planet. But rather than be happy with just the brilliance of the main event, Matchroom Boxing has assembled a heavyweight heavy undercard fit for a king. 9 fights in total, 5 heavyweight fights, 4 title fights, and even a Saudi fighting for the Middle East Lightweight Championship. So ladies and gentlemen, it's an incredible night of boxing action. It is historic, and here to tell you all about it and introduce you to all the great fighters on this card, the man that put it together, the president of Matchroom Boxing, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Thank you, David, and welcome to the entire media world here today. We're in a fantastic room, a fantastic building, but as you can see by the turnout, we could have done with one even 3 times as big as this. As we get excited and we approach what I feel is one of the biggest heavyweight fights and nights of all time. It's an absolute honor to be sitting here just a stone's throw away from a magnificent arena that was built for this great fight and this great night. And of course, we wouldn't be here without the support of the GSA, Prince Khalid, Skills Challenge Entertainment, Omar and the team. The vision that you guys have had has been exceptional. When we signed this deal and we had our site visit and we looked at some sand over there that you told us this venue would take place at with, what, 12, 13 weeks to go? I'll be honest, I thought you were mad. And I was expecting a call to say we were going to another arena. You did it. You did it. You should be very proud. And on Saturday, the eyes of the sporting world will be fixed on Saudi Arabia and the Diriyah Arena for what will be a sensational night of historic boxing. As David said, the way we like to do things at Matchroom is not a big main event and don't spend any money on the undercard. We wanted to make sure we created a night from top to bottom that will go down in history. What better way to kickstart the sport of boxing in this country than to showcase the most attractive division in the sport of boxing, the heavyweight division. And we have fights on this card that could be headlining their own stadium events. Alexander Povetkin against Michael Hunter, the WBA World Championship elimination fight, is a thriller. 2 great amateurs. Alexander Povetkin, former Olympic gold medalist, former heavyweight champion of the world. Michael Hunter come up on the blind side. Only 1 defeat to Alexander Usyk, but on a brilliant run, beating Martin Bakole, Ustinov, and more recently Sergey Kuzmin at Madison Square Garden. Dillian Whyte, the WBC #1, the reigning interim world champion, against former world title challenger Mariusz Wach. and one of the best young prospects in the heavyweight division, Filip Hrgović, in his toughest fight against former two-time world championship challenger, Eric Molina. Even beneath that, we have the former amateur world champion, Mo Majidov, against Tom Little from the UK, looking to cause a big upset. And of course, as David said, a first championship fight for Zahir Al-Qahtani, Saudi's very own. It's going to be a special, special moment in the arena on Saturday night. And also delighted to welcome two of our youngest top talents who will be floating in swing bouts on the card in Diego Pacheco and Hopey Price. What an opportunity for them to be part of one of the biggest nights of boxing of all time. We wouldn't be here, of course, without the support, the help and the vision of our two key broadcast partners. Firstly, from the UK, Sky Sports. This fight will be broadcast live on Sky Sports box office. Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz ring walking at around 8:45 p.m. UK time. We've been Sky Sports exclusive promoter for a number of years now. They've helped us change the face of the sport in Great Britain and the UK, and we couldn't have done it without them. This is a major moment for them as well. For our friends in America and other territories around the world, streamed live on DAZN. Again, our exclusive US broadcast partner has helped us try and change the game, and 1 year in America, they have completely disrupted the standard pay-per-view system in America and brought you some of the biggest fights over that year period. Canelo Alvarez, Alexander Usyk, Anthony Joshua, Gennady Golovkin. The list is endless. DAZN is the new home of boxing in America, unquestionably. Before we speak to the fighters, I'm going to pass over to the head of boxing at Sky Sports, Adam Smith.
Thanks, Eddie. It's been a wonderful time for boxing. What a fantastic few months we've had, and it all culminates here in Saudi Arabia on Saturday night. It is, as Eddie says, one of the biggest events in recent history, isn't it, after the huge upset that Andy Ruiz Jr. caused in New York back in June. It's been months in the making. I had a look around the stadium at first hand, the arena yesterday, and I was blown away. You know, we came here on the global tour a few weeks ago, and there was just sand, and now a fantastic arena awaits. And it's a fantastic card, a heavyweight card, the glamour division, the buoyant division, the division that loves to shock, the unpredictable nature of this sport, and the heavyweights give us, well, such great nights, don't they? Fantastic lineup of fighters. On the bottom table, the top table throughout. Great seeing Hopey and Diego, two of our brightest talents to come. Hopey Price, what an experience for him just to milk it all in, take it in on a night like this. Brilliant to have Dillian Whyte back in action. Fantastic sort of chief support with Alexander Povetkin, who we know well, of course, in the UK. And Michael Hunter, who's creeping up, isn't he now? Wonderful clash of styles. Really good heavyweight action all the way through. Fantastic card, fantastic night of boxing. It will all be on Sky Sports box office. We've got a huge team over here who've been working so very, very hard as a host broadcaster for Saturday night. All ending up round about 8:45, 9 o'clock UK time, perfect time, prime time for the biggest rematch in recent times, Andy Ruiz Jr. and Anthony Joshua. But before that, what hors d'oeuvres we have, Eddie. What a great card, a tasty card, and I think we'll have some fantastic action even before that main event.
Thank you, Adam. We're going to hear from some of the fighters now. I'm going to start off with you, Hopey. You got the call, 10 days ago or something like that. Didn't take long for you to accept. Dave Coldwell, your manager. I said, guess what? I've got some good news. We've got a spot on the card for Hopey Prize. Just one professional fight. Tell us about your experience so far and how much you're looking forward to being part of this event on Saturday.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd just like to thank you and Matchroom for giving me this opportunity to fight on such a huge event, in my second pro fight. And yeah, it's like, when I got the phone call, it was like Christmas come early. I can't wait to perform Saturday night and hopefully put on a show, because I know the whole world will be watching this event.
Obviously, the experience for you is going to be incredible, walking out in front of all those people as well, and just being around such a big main event as well. Going to put you in a great position for your career moving forward. Yeah,
I'm just trying to take it all in at the moment, and like you say, it didn't seem too long ago since Anthony Joshua's sat on this bottom table when Carl Froch boxed George Groves, and now he's headlining, so hopefully in a couple of years' time I'll be the one sat on the top table headlining these big events.
Look forward to seeing you in action on Saturday, Hopey. Diego Pacheco, fantastic start to your career, just 18 years of age. For those who know about Diego, we had to take him to Tijuana to start his professional career because he was 17 and couldn't box in most states in America. Has been absolutely flawless so far. 6'4", super middleweight, Mexican. The only downside is he'll be supporting Andy Ruiz on Saturday night. And of course, he boxed at Madison Square Garden as well in the first fight. Diego, again, what an opportunity for you, a special event to be a part of.
First of all, I want to thank Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, and then the entire Matchroom team, DAZN, and everyone who's part of this event, this really big event. You know, I'm just really grateful, and I feel really blessed to be here, sitting in front of everybody in Saudi Arabia. You know, I never imagined that at such a young age I would be here in the biggest card of the year. You know, here alongside with Holy Price, me and him being the two youngest, him in the UK, me in the United States of the Matchroom stable. So, you know, I'm just really happy and I feel really blessed to be here.
Thank you, Diego. Looking forward to see you back in action on Saturday night. Zahir Al-Qahtani. Zahir, welcome, my friend. This is a major moment for Saudi Arabia, major moment for yourself. Title fight on Saturday night and a tough fight as well for you. How excited are you? Are you feeling that pressure yet?
Well, thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Matchroom. I would like to give a special thanks to His Highness Prince Khalid Al Aziz for this amazing opportunity. For me, every fight is a challenge. I prepare hard for every fight. This historical fight in a historical city is amazing. Well, I just want to get in the building and get started. I'm ready to fight today. I'm just ready, man. Eddie, you know how the feeling is. You've been here many times. You know fighters. I just want to get in the ring, do the work, make history, put Saudi in the world map of boxing.
Obviously, this is the biggest fight in boxing and it lands in Saudi Arabia. What do you feel it can do for this country? Not just in terms of having the eyes of the world on Diriyah as an entertainment capital, but for the sport of boxing and how much it has potential to grow here in Saudi Arabia?
Oh, there's so much potential to grow in Saudi Arabia. Basically, boxing is the second biggest sport in the world, and now Saudis are beginning to see boxing. And like I said, my aim was to inspire the youth, and it's already started. Many people are interested in boxing. Let's not be surprised. Boxing is the new place. Boxing is taking over in Saudi Arabia. Saudi is the new Vegas. Actually, let me rephrase this word. Saudi is the new place. It's going to do massive event. Best events is going to happen in Saudi. And again, the youth, there's going to be many other Saudi boxers. I am the start, and I'm going to pave the way for a lot of Saudi boxers.
We look forward to seeing you in action on Saturday night. Great words.
Thank you, Eddie.
An intriguing heavyweight fight, as I said before, the former two-time world amateur champion against England's Tom Little. Tom, we'll start with you. What an opportunity. We know you got stranded in Istanbul for one night, which was a great experience for you as well, but you're here. I know you've been soaking it up. What an atmosphere, what an experience, and a big fight for you on Saturday night.
Yeah, very grateful to be here, Eddie. Thank you to you, Sky, Matchroom Boxing. Thank you to the hospitality from the Saudi people. You've been most welcoming. And yeah, just looking forward to go now. I've had a very good camp. Can't wait to get this show on the road.
Obviously, you've mixed with some of the best heavyweights in the world, sometimes at short notice. We saw you in a good fight with Filip Hrgović as well up here. This time you've had a long camp, the perfect camp. You're fighting a very, very good amateur, but someone that's only had one professional fight. You're ready to take it to him on Saturday.
Listen, that's what I do, Eddie. You know me. Records are for DJs. Amateur pedigree don't really mean anything. So I'm just going to go out there, do what I do. I've prepared like I've never prepared before, but listen, this underdog ain't going to bark. I plan on doing a bit of biting instead.
We look forward to that. Margot Majidov, welcome. Your second fight. Again, part of a huge card. Excited for Saturday.
Assalamu alaikum. First time I'm happy to be here. Thank you for hosting. I have a good camp. Sorry, my English. I have a good camp and good preparation. I show you in Saturday my preparation. That's it.
Good. I thought that was a very good attempt. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, we go to the top table. First up, an intriguing heavyweight clash. As I said before, one of the top young fighters coming through in the division right now in Filip Hrgović. This guy was an outstanding amateur. He has great skills. He has a great team, great training team. Delighted, of course, to be working with Sauerland Promotions, co-promoting Filip Hrgović. Punches very, very hard. But up against a fighter who has had a great camp, whose team I've spoken to, who believe this is his time to relaunch himself on the world heavyweight scene. And we start with Eric Molina. Eric, welcome. A massive fight, massive occasion. You've been here before, not Saudi Arabia, but you fought Deontay Wilder for the World Heavyweight Championship, giving him a great fight. You fought Anthony Joshua for the World Heavyweight Championship. Big fight for you on Saturday.
Absolutely, Eddie. Thank you for having me out here. Thanks to Matchroom Boxing and everybody involved with this fight. Eddie, every time I hear from you, you never call me for the. It's always one of your heavyweights. So I look forward to your messages on Instagram, and I know that's how this fight started, just like the Anthony Joshua fight, just like other heavyweights that have been offered to me. It's always been yes, and you know that. And 8 weeks to get ready. Wow, I never thought you would give me 8 weeks to get ready for a fight. So I'm just extremely thankful to be a part of this event. This is an iconic sporting event. It's an iconic rematch. And to be a part of this, to see all the cultures from around the world collide. Just in the 5 heavyweight fights, we have representation from over 5-6 countries from around the world. I mean, when you start your career 0-1, man, this is all just bonus. This is just beautiful to experience. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank my management team, Marlon Johnson, Lee Holiday. I want to thank my training team. I want to thank my wife. I want to thank everybody back at home in the Rio Grande Valley, everybody that has helped me out to get to this point. I call it the art of bouncing back. I'm that guy in the heavyweight division that just doesn't go away. I find a way to stick around, and I think Saturday night I'll find a way to stick around. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Eric. Always a pleasure to have you on the card. We're going to go over to Nissi Sauerland now, co-promoters with Filip Hrgović. Nissi, it's been a great run for Filip. We've seen him box in Washington, in Mexico, and now Saudi Arabia. It's been a great run, and I think fair to say the toughest fight of his career so far on Saturday.
Yeah, 100%. First off, respect to Eric Molina for taking the fight. The biggest problem we have with Filip is actually finding heavyweights that will fight him. So we've got one, and Eric definitely looks in very good shape. We look forward to his performance on Saturday. But I believe that we've got the best heavyweight out there. I'm looking forward to showcasing him on such a great event, such a big event. It's great to be back in Saudi. Last time I was here, the crowd was great. And I expect the same on Saturday for such a huge, huge fight, huge event. And of course, thank you, Eddie. And thank you to the whole Matchroom staff and everyone here involved. We're just excited to end this world tour with a big bang on Saturday. Thank you very much.
Filip, I think you've been looking for a fight to get your teeth into for a long time. This is a great fight for you, a very tough fight for you to end what has been a great year.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good to be here. Just to mention, he had 8 weeks training camp. I had 12 weeks training camp. So that's a good thing for me. I trained like never before with my coach Pedro Diaz in Miami, 8 weeks. And I had 4 weeks with my assistant coach Yusuf Hassan in Croatia, in Zagreb. So I'm feeling very good. I'm ready for my biggest fight so far. And want to thank you, Eddie, and Matchroom Boxing, Team Sauerland, Željko Karajica, Sky Sport, The Zone, and it's an honor for me to be part of this great event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Filip. We look forward to a great fight. Hrgović against Molina on Saturday night. Another great fight. His former World Championship challenger, Marius Wack, against the WBC ranked #1, Dillian Whyte. Marius, firstly, you look great. I love the new haircut, the suit. You look in great shape. Ready for a big night on Saturday.
Witam wszystkich serdecznie. Chciałbym podziękować panu Ediemu Hearnowi w filmie Matchroom za to, że zaufała mi, że mogę wystąpić tutaj na tej sobotniej gali.
I really want to thank Matchroom Group for invitation for this big event. It is very great pleasure for me to be here.
Na pewno tego 7 grudnia dam z siebie wszystko, zostawię mnóstwo zdrowia, ale wyjdę do tego ringu, żeby wygrać swój pojedynek. Dziękuję.
I will go to ring well prepared and I will let my heart there and it will be great fight.
Thank you, Marius. Dillian Whyte, been on an incredible run. Obviously, your last victory against Oscar Rivas in July. Before that epic fight with Derek Chisora. Before that epic fight with Joseph Parker. Before that epic fight with Derek Chisora. It's just been war after war for you. And a great addition to the card. We're so happy to have you on here. I know you were training in the great facilities at the hotel last night. A major card to be a part of.
Yeah, firstly I want to say thanks everyone for having me. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Adam. Thanks, Prince Khalib. Thanks, Omar, for having me, get me on the show. The last few months have been tough. Obviously, I've been using the gym as a distraction, just to train, stay busy, keep my mind occupied. But you know me, I got the call late, but it don't take a lot to talk me into a fight. All you gotta do is say, yeah, there's a potential date, potential opponent. I'm like, alright, cool, I'm up for it. Let's have it. So, you know me. It didn't take a lot of backward conversations to get the fight on. Really, I was like, whoever won it can get it.
You've gone into a lot of fights recently that have been 50-50 with the bookmakers. You are a favourite to win this fight.
I hate being favourites.
You hate being a favourite. But is it a case of winning, looking good, or just getting the win, or do you look for a sensational knockout on Saturday?
You know me, I come to the ring with maximum violence intention. I want to try and hurt the guy. At the end of the day, Marius is a nice guy. I met him before and he's alright, but when the bell goes, I will be trying to damage him as quickly and as much as I can. But just about just getting the win, man, and just getting out there, getting the W, and move into next year, and get back to doing what I do best, and that's to fight anyone, anytime, anywhere, man.
Marius Wack against Dillian Whyte. Great fight on Saturday night. We move forward to the Chief Support Contest. Just a brilliant, brilliant heavyweight matchup. WBA World Title Eliminator between Alexander Povetkin and Michael Hunter. Michael, we start with you. You look fantastic. Oh, they're giving you a clap down there. Obviously, they've seen your outfit. You look fantastic. You've been on an incredible run. You and your team, of course, trained by former world heavyweight champion Hasim Rahman. Great opportunity for you on Saturday.
I mean, look at where I'm at. This is like a dream come true to me. I cannot ask for anything more, so thank you, Eddie. I really appreciate you putting me on the show, and, shows me a lot of respect that, I'm the co-main event. I get to spice up the fight for the main event. And, Matchroom, DAZN, Sky Sports always do a good job with the event, so I would also like to thank Saudi Boxing and the Team Riyadh. I know they've done they've worked very hard, and there's a lot of pressure on them. This is, one of their biggest events they've done, and the hospitality has just been beautiful. I'm very excited for this fight because of my opponent and everything that comes with it. So thank you guys. Thanks all the fans and everybody that's watching, and watch me do my thing.
You've been the underdog so often coming through the heavyweight division, the smaller guy moving up from cruiserweight. You've taken fights at short notice. Sometimes when you've had nothing to lose. Now you've really got something to use. You're heavy. You're ranked in the division. What do you think this fight's going to be like? Povetkin, like you, great amateur, great speed as well, has power. We should expect a great fight here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how long, how much more longer I'm gonna be a underdog, but I really enjoy it. But this event, this fight is definitely going to be a tough one. All the accolades. He's a gold medalist. He's been at the top of this game for years and years. So this is not going to be an easy task and an easy feat. I just have to stick to my game plan and impose my will on him. So
You know, come Saturday, I plan to do so.
Thank you, Michael. Alex, welcome. We saw you fight Joshua in front of 80,000 people at Wembley in a great fight. You just beat Hughie Fury at the O2 Arena in front of 20,000 people. This is a special night on Saturday.
Саша, приветствуем тебя. Мы видели, как ты дрался с Джошуа на 80-тысячной арене, побил Фьюри. Вот теперь этот бой. Что у тебя, какие мысли по этому поводу?
Добрый день. Рад здесь присутствовать. Рад, что я буду выступать с Майклом Хантером. И хорошее ощущение. Я рад, что буду присутствовать на этом празднике, на этом великом шоу, на этом великом бою.
Hi everyone, I'm really glad to be here. Well, I'm really excited to be on the fight like this. I'm really happy to fight with Michael Hunter, and you know, the Saturday shows everything.
Michael, like Alex, always says yes to a fight. Actually, every heavyweight on this top table says yes to a fight. We should expect a thrilling battle between these two on Saturday.
Саша, ты так же, как Хантер, всегда говоришь «да» на любые вызовы. Стоит ли нам ожидать, некий триллер, битву в субботу?
Я думаю, и я, и Майкл выйдем на ринг и покажем красивый, интересный и зрелищный бокс.
Well, I think will be one thing. Me and I, Michael and Sasha, they will come to the arena and show the exciting fight. That's it. That's what you need to expect.
Thank you very much. We look forward to a thrilling matchup, WBA World Championship Eliminator, Alexander Povetkin against Michael Hunter. We want to thank as well the fighters and their teams as well, their management teams, World of Boxing with Alexander Povetkin and Andrei Rybinski. We thank them as well for the consistent collaboration. And of course, we thank everybody for coming here today. We're going to have head-to-heads at the top table here with all fighters, and then we're going to take the fighters individually to the top floor as well for a photo, and then they'll be available to the media before we start the main event press conference at 6 p.m. local time today. Thank you for sitting tight for this press conference. Thank you for watching on the live stream. Do not miss this undercard for this epic event that will go down in history on Saturday night. Thank you very much. Guys, if the fighters can just go to either side and just wait for the head-to-head, please. What about all these? Move them. Let's just move the chairs because there's some space. I don't know how we got there, but
take bottles off as well, please. Yeah. Yes, mate. Robert. Shooting top half. Oh, yeah. Hold him there for a minute.
Tom Little and Majidov, please.
Tom, I'll sit down there, is that right? Right there.
Tom Little, Majidov.
How's the minute? I'm ready.
The front first, please, guys. Sit down, please, guys.
Get down in front.
Ruiz Jr. versus Joshua 2. Brought to you by Beats by Dr. Dre.